Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another episode of RuneNews. It's your boy, Ryan. I hope you're all having a fantastic week. Obviously, JX has dropped a bit of a bombshell on us with these new 3 proposed skills: Sailing, Taming, and Shamanism. Make sure you read through the blog that they posted and watch the video and take as much information in as you can, and try to leave your bias or narrow-minded opinions of Hunter with extra steps or Herbal or 2 or minigame sailing meme behind, and actually just try to take a bit of insight for what they've actually put in the blogs. The illustrations are done really well, and there's a lot of information that can be consumed there. If you are unsure, unhappy, or don't care about these skills in particular, you're more than welcome to vote no. By all means, like, if you're on the fence, you have every right to vote no, but don't try to tackle the skills without actually looking at the content, because I think it's pretty important to take everything you can into with the right amount of context. I think is the best way to word it. But without further ado, Jew being the key word, of course, I would love it if you guys could leave a comment down below telling me which of the 3 skills, Sailing, Taming, or Shamanism, or even if you didn't like any of the skills at all, which one you're thinking of voting for next week on the 4th of July when the poll goes live. While you're down there, don't be afraid to hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Much love to every single one of you fuckers watching this video right now. Thank you very much, and strap yourselves in for the Bounty Hunter Rewards beta and more for this week in old school RuneScape news. Now, the Bounty Hunter Rewards beta is live currently on worlds 401, 5, 7, 9, and 4, 12. These worlds will be used, basically just go to the most populated one, unless the one that is closer to your, I guess, preferred region is fairly populated. Go there, hit the chest, gear up with supplies. You've got Statius and Vesta's gear for your melee gear, whether you want heavy defense and crush, or you want just a lot of damage coming out. Or you've got the Morrigan's gear for ranged, or Zuriel's for mage. Basically, what they're looking for here is feedback and testing, and whether you feel like this gear is acceptable to be used as rewards for Bounty Hunter. Now, I believe as it is a reward for Bounty Hunter, you'll only be able to use it in Bounty Hunter itself when it is released, but that does mean that you won't have to take your hard-earned gear from outside of the event into the event and lose it there. It's basically you earn it in Bounty Hunter, you lose it in Bounty Hunter, rinse and repeat. Any and all feedback should absolutely go towards the JMods, whether it's through, I guess, Reddit or Twitter or whatever methods they use. Absolutely, do go and give your feedback, but make sure you are respectful with your feedback when you're dropping any sort of criticism. Make sure it's constructive rather than negative. But the blog here does go through the stats and show you exactly what you need, and you're more than welcome to go through and read the blog yourself. I'm not going to read through all of it here because it's a lot of effort. But if you've done any form of LMS, you're going to be familiar with the names and the sort of gear that they work with. Previous Bounty Hunter lovers are going to absolutely enjoy the shit out of this update. Statius, I'll give you a quick rundown, is basically the tankier armor set, which also relies heavily on crush to do with like the Warhammer. Also helpful with things like your Elder Maul and your Obby Maul, or your Granite Maul, sorry. Then you got Vesta's armor, which is not as tanky as the Statius armor, but does absolutely slap or help with your offensive abilities nonetheless. Although it still seems to outdo the Statius gear with crush anyway, so the Vestas might be the way to go. You've got Morrigan's armor, which is obviously absolutely busted for range, along with the javelins. And then Zuriel's armor, basically if you're wearing this stuff, you're never going to splash again, you're never going to miss a freeze. So that's the sort of gear that we're looking for. And then you've got weapon imbues to use. I believe these are also to be used only inside of Bounty Hunter on release, which is Dark Bow, Barrel Chest Anchor, Dragon Longsword, Dragon Mace, Abyssal Dagger. These imbues are going to buff the specs and the general stats of the weapon. So make sure you go in and check out the buffs and give your honest feedback. Now, for those who are not fans of PKing or aren't very good at PKing, this is a prime time in RuneScape for you to go ahead and try it out risk-free. Jump into a world, get your inventory set up, get in there, and just don't hold back. Start clicking, start practicing your switches, your prayer flicks. George Bush did 9/11. Do whatever you can to tackle your opponents inside Clan Wars, I think it's the Clan Wars portal you have to go through to fight, and take on the challenge completely risk-free. Grab a friend, get in there, practice PKing, practice your skills, and maybe you will even be better at just defending yourself in the wilderness. Moving on through the update, we've got the 12th annual Golden Urns recap. I'm sure we've all seen the results of that by now, and other changes. Now, this is that one special time of the month where other changes have actually got something useful, which is right here. The volatile staff has been moved from basic tier, moved to the basic tier of reward chest in LMS, and the light bearer and the void waker, see that void waker right there, have been added to the superior tier, which means the light bearer and void waker are now in LMS, and the volatile nightmare staff is actually in the earlier chests of the game as well. More likely to be there at least, which is fucking amazing, as well as any other change on here. It's kind of dog shit, but moving forward from there, you got the 2-day membership expiry code. I never actually got mine, so I don't know. I don't know if everyone got theirs or not, but make sure you use it by then. Check your messages. Don't click on any phishing links. Weeks is still mocking the rest of the community. LMS is no longer on Oswords, which is cringe, but LMS grinds my gears anyway. But that's pretty much it. That's all we got for the old school RuneScape news. Make sure you stick around, because after the 10-second segment of RuneScape 3, Wade Green's going to take over for the Grand Exchange and show you, excuse me, show you how to make a quick buck. There was a huge announcement this week for old school RuneScape players, where the J-Mods announced 3 new potential skills for the game, which is Taming, Shamanization, and Sailing. And a lot of people were worrying and complaining that adding a new skill to this game after 10 years will push the game towards RuneScape 3. And I'm here to tell you, you don't have to worry about that. The J-Mods will not make old school RuneScape into RuneScape 3. They will do everything in their power to prevent these two games colliding together. And if after 10 years you still can't see that, the way this game's been developed and looked after carefully by these J-Mods who do an amazing job at developing this game, there's only one thing you need to keep in mind, and that is that RuneScape 3 is fucking dog shit. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Grand Exchange segment for this week in Rune News. It's your boy Wade Green. Now, the Venator Shard is this week's biggest rise. Now, this is the key thing to remember, okay? When the Phantom Muskbar came out and the bow was released, it pretty much had almost no uses except just pinging goblins for fun and maybe the occasional slayer task, but it's actually becoming more and more valuable the more people unlock or realize its niche potential. Grotesque Guardians is technically best in slot on the second range phase. Along with many other methods, especially through Slayer, it's a lot more convenient than bursting. This bow is actually becoming more profitable and more valuable to a lot of players. Now, it's just, I think it's something to remember and keep in mind when Jagex releases content. Even though it is niche, it's something that eventually will become more useful. So yeah, I might end up eating my words with some of this new mage gear they're going to bring out potentially with Dragon Desert Treasure 2. However, the Void Waker Blade has taken a massive dip this week, and take note of when actually this drop started to happen. Now, I can give you the inside information on when and why the Void Waker Blade, the entire sword and the pieces are actually dropping in price. Recently, there was an incident while live streaming on the King Condor network where the infamous Elliot14, who doesn't like people stream sniping him in the wilderness, stream sniped your boy and tried to PK me. Now, the problem he had was he couldn't do it. His Void Waker planked. I didn't even pray correctly on it twice, and he still couldn't get the kill. So, you know, a good PK never blames his tools, but I guess in this case, he's not enjoying the Void Waker anymore, realized he's fucking dog shit, and he's fucked off back to his little Circle Jerk Discord group. So, yeah, take the fucking L on that one, cunt. The YouTube short is on my channel if anyone wants to see him fucking faceplant live in front of the audience. But don't take it out on the Void Waker, buddy. A good PK never blames his fucking tools. Now, Death Runes are dropping in price. Now, as an Iron Man, I don't really give a shit because I'm waiting for Death Rune packs, which is going to be lit, but this is something to notice. That it's one of the most traded runes in the game are dipping in price, which does actually make bursting and barraging tasks a little bit more value for money. Even just maxing your mage on a brand new account, now's not a bad time to dip into the Death Runes, because even though, you know, it's only a 30 GP drop in about a day, this is actually a pretty good time to buy them, because obviously the announcement of potentially bringing in Death Rune packs, they are for some reason going to drop, even though it's really just Iron Man that are going to fuck with that. So for those making brand new pure accounts trying to max their mage, now's not a bad time to grab a bunch of Death Runes, because they're looking pretty fucking cheap. And of course, with the recent success of basically the entire channel and the RuneScape industry, and not being a dickhead that moves over to Kick for a quick buck to double dip on my viewers when it comes to streaming, and RuneNews returning. The mole sleepers are back on the incline, and we can expect to see this forecast continue towards the direction of the moon over the next 6 to 12 months. We should be hitting 1 mil per pair of mole sleepers by the end of the year. Mark my fucking words, or unsubscribe. So keep stay cancer on that one, guys. Don't forget to tune into RuneNews weekly to make sure you keep up to date with the mole sleepers. My name is Wade Green. I'm gonna fuck off. Look after yourselves. Have a good weekend. Our first Iron Man moment for the week comes from an actual Iron Man, believe it or not. Samantha, GIM Lil Brat. She believes she can beat me to maxing. Obviously, that's not going to happen. But she got the pet Rocky at 69,086,990 XP, which is pretty lit. So GZ on that. Well done with the Rocky pet. I'll see you at the finish line. Another pet that was claimed today was Rebel Montana, which he got the giant squirrel while doing agility. I believe it's Artie Rooftops, 4,000 and something laps. You can hear him trying to say, Rebel Country, let's... So, unfortunately, he can't take a screenshot to save his life, but this is the best that we get, Jeezy on the pet Rebel. And finally, some dickhead called Cruising got an Elysian shield, sigil, Elysian Shang, Elysian Bing Chilling from Corp, which is only 587 mil now. They're dropping like sacks of shit because, well, the Elysian Spirit Shield's been dog shit for a long time. I'm kind of glad it's losing a lot of value now. But that's going to wrap up this week for RuneNews, guys. Thank you very much. Man, what the fuck is wrong with me today? Thank you very much for watching. My name is King Condor, and I approve this message. I'll see you guys in the live stream tomorrow. Strap in and strap on. Hit the bell button down below. Change it to all on your notifications. Alright, now, fuck off. This is the easiest move in the raid. It's quite simple. You got a big boy. Look at him, goddamn! Fuck me, look at that boy. Huge!